So good afternoon, everyone. Or maybe I should say great afternoon. I don't know if those of you who have been following the weather have noticed how much it's been raining lately, but today the sun is out. I'm Fred Longstaff, Provost and Vice President Academic at the University of Western Ontario. And I first of all want to thank all of you for coming here today at short notice to help us celebrate what is some extraordinarily good news for London, for the region, for Western, and for the Richard Ivey School of Business. I know that all of you are going to be just delighted, tickled pink, my old mom would have said, about the announcement that's about to be made. Now, I had hoped to keep you all in deep suspense, but I know that some of you have an inkling about what we're about to learn. I have filed my taxes. So I can carry on. We're really fortunate indeed today to have with us a number of our leaders from the Ontario government and the government of Canada to share some very, very good news with you. And I want to first of all start by introducing our guests. Joe Preston, our Member of Parliament for Elgin Middlesex, London. The Honourable Deb Matthews, Minister of Children and Youth Services and Minister responsible for Women's Issues and MPP for London North Central. Ed Holder, Member of Parliament for London West and bearer of a purple tie. The Honourable Chris Bentley, Attorney General for Ontario and MPP for London West. Bearer of a purple tie with stripes. And Khalil Ramal, the MPP for London Fanshawe.
Sorry, it wasn't purple in the morning.
So, very much thanks to all of you for coming today to share your wonderful news with us. Now, I think most of you know that the federal and provincial governments have already made some very exciting announcements earlier this week, providing significant investments in post-secondary campuses across Ontario. Investments that will both strengthen our province, our country, and our society well into the future, and particularly of importance now, investments that will strengthen our economy and boost employment now, today, when we really need it. So a heartfelt thanks to all of you from all of us for that. And so now we turn more specifically to London and to Western. We are so fortunate here to have provincial and federal governments that understand the very great value of investing in Western and how that kind of investment will pay economic, social, and intellectual dividends for decades to come. And beyond that, we are so very blessed in London to have strong representation both on the provincial and federal levels. People who understand and care about the important work that goes on at Western and who work very, very hard on our behalf. We're also extraordinarily pleased today that the announcement, I keep referring to the announcement, will have as its focus our Richard Ivey School of Business. It was probably my president calling to give me one last instruction. Ivey is a world-renowned leader in business education and is one of the key players at Western in bringing international stature and recognition to Canada, to Ontario, to London, and to our university. We are so very proud of Ivey and all that it has accomplished, and all that it does within the university, the community, the province, the country, and indeed around the world. We want Ivey to be and to continue to be competitive at the highest national and international levels. It's in that way that we can continue to attract and retain at Ivey and at Western the very best students, the very best staff, and the very best members of faculty. Our federal and provincial governments understand and want to assist us in sustaining that success. And so, to tell you how they plan to do so today, it's my very great pleasure to introduce Member of Parliament for Elgin, Middlesex, London, Joe Preston.
Thank you very much. It's good afternoon. It's just great to be here. It's a beautiful sunny day here. It was raining very hard when I left Ottawa this morning, and it's always nice to get home and sleep in my own bed tonight, but the fact that it's sunny makes it even better. Thank you so much for that very nice warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here again at the University of Western Ontario, and I'd like to thank the university for hosting us here today to make this announcement. I also need to thank some colleagues. Ed Holder, a colleague of mine from the House of Commons in Ottawa, and if you don't mind, my other colleagues, my Ontario colleagues, Chris, Deb, Khalil, it's great to be working together with you on some of these projects. It's just a phenomenal piece when we can put the federal government and the provincial government on the same pace and the same train tracks and end up at the same place. It's just phenomenal. We'll see something grow because we all work together to make it happen. London's home to London's home to Canada's premier post-secondary institution, and it's been a hub of research and innovation and advanced knowledge in Canada. I don't need to tell any of you that we meet today here in a historic moment. While it's not yet in the history books, we're living through a period of our history that we will remember for years to come. To some degree, we've all experienced some effect of this global economic downturn. It's easy to be preoccupied with the news we read in the newspaper or see on television, and about the economic challenges that we and our constituents truly face each and every day. Today we're announcing an economic stimulus piece that is partially responsible or partially in response to that news. But it really means so much more for the future of colleges and universities in Ontario and here in London. In developing Canada's action plan, our government consulted with thousands of Canadians and found a remarkable degree of consensus. From Campbell River to Corner Brook and right here in London, Canadians agree we must do what it takes to keep our economy moving and to create new opportunities for the future. Our government's reduced taxes, paid down debt, invested in roads, bridges, waterways, community centers, and other projects. We've also significantly invested in our researchers and innovators. I myself have been here to Western a couple of times with some very nice announcements on research. In both Canada and the United States, infrastructure investment's been identified as an essential piece to the short-term economic stimulus. Through Canada's Economic Action Plan, our government's taking immediate action by launching one of the largest national infrastructure programs in our country's history. The strategic investments we're making are the foundation of our nation's future economic prosperity. Part of that undertaking is why we're here today. In our budget consultations, we heard from presidents of our post-secondary institutions, national organizations such as the Association of Universities and Colleges of Canada and the Association of Canadian Community Colleges. They told us that above any other priority, they needed federal funding to address the deteriorating state of their research infrastructure. We listened and we acted. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to announce that under our Knowledge Infrastructure Program, the Government of Canada is investing $25 million in this project. Save some of that for my provincial friends, because with their help, it's going to be $50 million. So, I want you to save that for them. These investments provide significant short-term stimulus in communities all across Ontario, but right here in London for this project. These projects will put many Canadians to work. They will also ensure that all of those in the forefront of research and innovation in Canada, our students, our researchers, our technicians, and professors, will have the conditions they need to succeed. We know that there are many ways we can support our researchers and innovators in Canada. As a people, Canadians are talented, creative, imaginative, and productive people. Our next great success story, like the BlackBerry, I've turned mine off, may be in development right here at Western. Our knowledge infrastructure investments focus on projects that are ready to start construction. By focusing on timely projects, we're making sure buildings take place while the need for economic stimulus is the greatest. These investments will create jobs for people now while providing infrastructure that universities and colleges need for years to come. During this trying time and while traveling our country, it struck me most that the resilience of Canadians is there. We know that we are dealing with a recession that did not start here, yet we are pulling together as a nation to achieve short-term recovery and working very hard on our long-term future prosperity. Canada is a land rich in resources, but there's no greater resource than our people. We're a dynamic nation of hardworking and inventive men and women. It is our people who will drive our new economy. In Canada, and certainly here in Ontario, the knowledge economy is growing. It complements our traditional industries like manufacturing, agriculture, mining and forestry. Combine those two, that works. In fact, it enhances them. Our economy today benefits from new discoveries developed in university and college labs, like we're funding here today, and into consumer and industrial products made right here in Canada. Investments like the one from the Knowledge Infrastructure Program help give our students the support they need to get their ideas off the drawing board and into the market, where those ideas greatly enhance our standard of living and create opportunities for all of us. With Canada's Economic Action Plan, we're meeting the great challenges of our time. The Knowledge Infrastructure Program will help ensure that the right conditions are in place for Canada to be the best country in the world in which to live, work, and invest. Congratulations to the University of Western Ontario, the Ivey School of Business, and to all our Knowledge and Infrastructure Program recipients across Ontario, but specifically to those right here at Western. Thank you very much.
So you can see why Joe has been such a successful business leader, such a successful fundraiser for the United Way, and such a success for us in Ottawa. So thank you very much. It's now my great pleasure to invite Dr. Deb Matthews, a Western alumna, to the podium here to talk to us a little bit from the Ontario government's perspective about this wonderful day.
Well, thank you, Fred, and it's wonderful to be here on campus on a sunny Friday afternoon. When I was a student here not that long ago, sunny Friday, warm afternoons had a certain, there was a certain magnetism to a place not too far from here. The grad club called my name and continues to call my name. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work when we're done here. I am delighted to be joined by my colleagues, Khalil Ramal and Chris Bentley, and maybe I'll ask Khalil and Chris to come on up if there's room here, because we really do make this announcement as a team, the three of us. So Chris and Khalil, come up, if you would.
She's looking for bodyguards.
You probably figured out what it is I'm going to say. But you have to wait for it anyway. This is a very, very special day. This is a day of a very big announcement that will leave its mark when all of us have left this planet. I think we've got a very exciting project ahead of us, and it's wonderful to be here to celebrate that. But I think it's important that we take a minute and think about really what we're talking about here. Our government was elected in 2003, and we made learning and higher education a core priority for our government. We understood completely the relationship between education and a thriving, strong economy. We've made significant investments in our elementary and secondary schools, but in our universities as well. Chris Bentley, as some of you will know, was Minister of Training Colleges and Universities, and brought in the Reaching Higher plan, $6.2 billion for post-secondary education, because it is such a high priority for us. As a result of those investments, we now have 25% more students in post-secondary education than just 5 years ago. Think about that for a minute. 25% more students in post-secondary than just 5 years ago. We've expanded the number, but we've also really focused on accessibility. So we have introduced grants for students. We've introduced special programs for students who face particular barriers and challenges when it comes to post-secondary education. So that might be coming from low-income families. It might be that they're the first in their family ever to go on to post-secondary. It might mean because they have a disability of some sort or have Aboriginal ancestry. A number of these factors do, in fact, present barriers for people to attend institutions like this. So we've really focused resources on improving access to people, because we need to capture all the brain power, all the talent we have. Our economic future depends on capitalizing on all of the wonderful brain power in this province. So today, this will come as a big surprise to you, because the total investment is 50 and the feds just put in 25. So I'm very pleased to be able to announce that the provincial government is matching the federal contribution of $25 million. That means that there will be an ability for even more students to learn here at the Ivey School. My brother is in fact a graduate of the Ivey School, and he has put that education to good use, not just for himself, to make himself successful and prosperous, but by employing many people and by building stronger communities where he has been. We need the business talent. We need the strategic thinking that is developed here for our businesses, but also for the broader expanse of training that is increasingly being done here. It's a wonderful day. Thank you for letting me share it. Thank you.
I do want to put the minister's mind at rest. We put to an end that business of sloping off to the graduate club on Friday afternoons on Sunday. There's way too much to learn in this competitive world. And I'm sure if we went over right now, we wouldn't find anyone there. Thank you to the provincial team for all of your assistance and help and continued faith and help for the University of Western Ontario. It's now my pleasure to introduce the incomparable Dean Carol Stevenson, who is a tireless worker for the University of Western Ontario, a tireless worker for the Richard Ivey School of Business. I just followed her around in Hong Kong for 3 days, and I'm tired. She just got off the plane and she's still fresh. And so Carol has worked so hard to help bring this day to the reality that it now is. And so I would like to invite her to come and tell her story.
Invite everyone to join us at the Grad Pub following this. I guess I won't. Anyway, good afternoon, honorable ministers, Fred, and colleagues that are here. It is with the greatest pleasure and the greatest pride on behalf of all the faculty, the students, and the staff, and the alumni, that I accept the provincial and federal government's contribution of $50 million towards the construction of our new home for the Richard Ivey School of Business. As Fred mentioned, I just got off a plane late last night from China, so I have to keep pinching myself to tell myself that this is real and it's not just a dream. But it really is a dream. It is a dream come true. So thanks to your investment, today we are poised to begin construction with shovels of a very inspirational center of knowledge creation, learning, and development for the next generation of business leaders in Canada and around the world. This new building is essential to the school's growth, the university's growth, and most importantly, the growth of businesses in Ontario and in Canada. Businesses such as Stormfisher, which was started by 3 of our MBA grads just a couple of years ago. It's a business in alternate energy. Last year, they raised $350 million in private equity, which was the largest investment in private equity in any business in Canada. This is the kind of business that Ontario and Canada wants, and we're committed to producing the business leaders that are going to grow business and get us out of this recession. We've come a long way from the school's humble yet visionary beginnings in 1922 as a program with the Faculty of Arts housed in the basement of University College across the street. We're now housed in 5 different locations, including one off campus in London, so it's just so exciting to think that we can all get back together and be in one place. Well, extraordinary people are, and always will be, the heart and the soul of the Ivey Business School. It is through the buildings that we can trace our heritage, our dreams, our achievements, and our future. For many of our graduates, including some of the faculty that are here this afternoon, some of you may have memories of Ivey that can be traced to an elegant and spacious home off the main campus called Good Home. It was a space that we quickly outgrew after we added an MBA program in 1948. So in 1956, we moved to the campus, to this beautiful building, thanks to a generous donation from Richard G. Ivey, and we continued to grow. We added on to the main building with the National Center for Management Research and Development, and in 1986, and again in 2003, we added the Lawrence Center for Policy and Management. The atrium that we're in today was added at that time, and we continued to grow again. The Spencer Leadership Center, which with the generous contribution from Scotiabank, became the home of our executive development programs in 1977. Spencer was renovated and expanded in 2006 to house our new one-year MBA program, and we continued to grow again. Our vision expanded to the international stage, and 10 years ago, we established the first North American business campus in China. Quite foresight of the people that came before us to realize how important China was and to make sure that we established ourselves there with the Chen Yutong Management Institute. And we continued to grow again. In 2006, with the launch of our cross-enterprise leadership strategy and to meet the demands of our expanding executive MBA and executive marketplace in Canada, we added the impressive ING Leadership Center in the heart of downtown Toronto. We've continued to make tremendous progress since we rolled out the cross-enterprise leadership strategy in 2005. And that growth has been so important to us. Our HBA has grown 40% over the last 3 years and will double its size by 2013. Our PhD program has tripled in size over the last decade. However, as we competed for the very best faculty, the best students, and the best staff around the world, it's become increasingly clear that an inspiring, world-class facility is absolutely important. A place where we can study, teach, create, and collaborate is essential to attract the best and the brightest business students and academics to Canada and to Ivey. This building has been conceived brilliantly for us by our architects, Hariri Pontarini, and CMAC Harini is here today. Where's CMAC? Please thank him for all his vision. And joining CMAC is Mike from Physical Plant at Western. Mike, right there. And the other Mike. So we really do have a lot to say thanks to for our architects who've had a great vision, and we're so excited about this building. And it will become a reality thanks to the government's generous support. I believe that our architects have captured the true essence and spirit, and I'd like to share with you the words that CMAC used when he made the presentation to us and we chose this wonderful design. And I quote you, CMAC. The Ivey Business School is a place where life-changing experiences happen. These experiences prepare students to go into the world with a quiet confidence that they will take a leadership role in all aspects of business successes. This new building will embody the Ivey spirit of collaboration across global boundaries, thought leadership, and taking responsibility for one's actions. This facility will respect the past, yet project a timeless, authentic quality. The school will be welcoming and offer a variety of flexible spaces that support a range of activities, from social interaction to quiet contemplation. It will be energetic, it will be inspiring, while conveying Ivey's memorable image on a global stage. We're standing at the threshold of a new era in the leadership of the Richard Ivey School of Business at the University of Western Ontario. I look forward to sharing this great adventure and this great future with you. And in this spirit of collaboration, I want you all to know that you need to bring your shovels on Monday morning, and we all need to start digging. So once again, on behalf of all of us at the University of Western Ontario, I want to extend our deepest thanks to our honourable members of the Government of Canada and the Government of Ontario who are with us today. We look forward to continuing this partnership and working with you to meet the needs of the business in this great country of ours. Thank you very much.
So I'm told for those of you who are not heading directly to the graduate pub, please feel free to mingle and talk and share. And I know that our honorable colleagues from the federal and provincial government will be here to talk with you, as will the Dean and as will I. So we're adjourned, and thank you again for coming on such a wonderful, wonderful day.